Whether we are ready for it or not, fall wedding season is just around the corner. Knowing what to wear can be a bit confusing, especially in the fall as we get into more formal wedding attire. So I'm here to help. I'm going to show you guys what you could wear to formal, semi-formal, even cocktail wedding, and I've also thrown in a few options for mother of the bride. All of these dresses are from designer Catherine Regier, and she's going to be having a trunk show coming up with us. So guys, be sure to check her out. Her pieces are so beautiful. You won't want to miss this. Starting off with what seems to be the most intimidating for people, a formal or black tie wedding. The staple rule to go by is going to be a floor-length gown for these. I think there are a little bit of leeway with that, especially in the South. However, it's always going to be a safe option. I think this one is beautiful, so flattering with the roll collar for somebody who doesn't love to show their arms. I think it's a stunning color as well, perfect for using in the fall, but would also be great in the spring. Here's another stunning formal option from the designer. Catherine Regier is known for her detailed embellishments like this one, so this is going to add a little bit of something to help you stand out from the crowd. As I mentioned before, formal doesn't always have to mean floor-length gown. You want to pay attention to what time in the afternoon your wedding's starting. I think after 6 p.m., formal or black tie required. You definitely need to have on a floor-length gown. But if it's a little bit earlier in the afternoon than that, showing your ankles is completely acceptable, especially in a nice formal dress such as this one. I think this dress is a great example of something that could truly be worn for black tie optional, or even a dressier cocktail. I love this one. I think the chameleon floral detail gives all the Chanel vibes. I think this would be a stunning piece that you could wear over and over again. Black tie optional is where things get a bit tricky, and where I was talking about floor length doesn't always mean formal. I think a dress like this is a great option for something that's a black tie optional wedding, just because it still is obviously very formal. You're just not sticking to that standard floor length rule, so it adds a little bit of something different. I think this would also be great for something that's a little earlier in the afternoon. Black tie is typically later at night, so the time of your wedding really does make a difference also. I think this would be great for, let's say, a 5 o'clock black tie optional wedding. This brings us to cocktail attire. A common misconception is that cocktail is the least formal, but actually it's just going to be a step down from your black tie or black tie optional wedding. They're typically a little bit earlier in the afternoon, so that's going to make you want to lean towards a bit of lighter colors. I think this is a perfect example. It's over the knee, which is the standard rule for cocktail, but not to the ground as a formal dress would be. Has that lighter color, and then I think the bottom of this one adds so much fun movement. This is a great example of a dress that I think is perfect for cocktail, but also could be great for a semi-formal wedding that's a little bit later in the afternoon. Later in the afternoon just means a little more dressed up. Think about as if you're going to dinner, you kind of want to elevate your style a little. And I always think leaning a little more modest for someone's wedding is best. So I think this one would be perfect for either. It hits below the knee, but the crystal embellishment just makes it feel a little fancier, and it's going to light up the dance floor. The second most important dress in the room at a wedding is the mother of the bride. I think this is going to be a perfect option for a black tie optional wedding or even a cocktail. I love the pearl detailing for adding that fun, feminine touch that's just subtle enough, but is still going to make mom feel special. Here's an absolutely stunning option for mother of the bride for a formal wedding. I think this is a perfect mother of the bride option. I love that the color is so similar to white. I think that's so pretty when mother of the bride and bride both have on a very similar tone. Silver is going to be great, especially around the holiday season. I think this would be so stunning for a winter formal wedding. One final note I would like to touch on is dresses simply aren't for everyone, and that is absolutely okay. That doesn't mean that you can't attend or be up to dress code. I think this is a perfect option for a cocktail wedding or even an earlier in the afternoon black tie optional. I think that you could certainly take it a little more formal or even to a black tie wedding later in the afternoon by changing it to some darker colors or even a tailored pantsuit. As always, please reach out to us if you have questions. I know this is intimidating, but it doesn't need to be so stressful. Don't forget, we'll have Catherine Regier trunk show going on. That's a great time to ask all of these questions in store, get some tips from the professionals, and find something perfect for you. We can't wait to see you.